Why, hello there. My name is David West, and this is the first weekly stand-up, or Scrum, for Sprint Zero on Vagabond Game. Without further ado, let's get to it here. So, like I said, this is Sprint Zero, and if you haven't watched the live stream before, the previously released video, I strongly suggest you catch up on it. But this is my weekly status update on how things are progressing on my game, called Vagabond Game, so far, and where we're going with it. So, let's get this show on the road, shall we? So, in a weekly Scrum, we answer 3 questions, right? What did I do last week that helped the development team meet the sprint goal? Me being the development team. There is literally no one else working on this right now, if ever. 2, what will I do next to help the development team meet the sprint goal? And 3, do I see any impediment that prevents me or the development team from meeting the sprint goal? Me and the development team, well, they're one and the same. These are the 3 questions I'm going to answer every week. You're supposed to do these dailies in an agile practice, but we're doing it weekly because this is not a full-time gig for me. It is just me trying to do a passion project and get this thing live. So let's keep going. So just a reminder, the sprint goal was to documentation for the vision. It's spelled incorrectly. It's the poor grammar. It is staying in there because that's what we said originally. But it's just essentially documenting the vision. That is what Sprint Zero is all about. It's kind of it's the pre-sprint before you really do the project. The work we had planned out was a game design document, 1-pager, storyboards for the dialogue, storyboards for survival, and outline the first purpose. So we are going to talk about where I'm at on that, and progress has been made. So what did I do last week? Answer the first question. Well, I tried to do the game design document right off the hop, try to set up a wiki site or something like that, and I was immediately delayed just getting caught up in details on where to host this thing. So I want to be able to share it, some parts of it, and there's a whole thing that in terms of requirements I have for where I can host this. And the spot where I thought I was going to host is not available, and I just don't want to throw money at the whole thing. I'm not trying to throw money at anything right now, so yeah, I'm just going to think about that a little bit more. Second thing, but this is what took me the most time this last week, was the storyboards for the dialogue. This is actually, I thought I was a lot further along because I have some storyboards for the dialogue sequence, but the vision, as I started to refine that in my mind, I realized I was missing a lot in the storyboards. The storyboards were they did not represent the vision in my head. So I kind of tried to scope that out properly by doing a state diagram and describe all the dialogue gameplay states that exist and the transitions between them. This is going to inform and define the scope of dialogue gameplay, and so that's why it's so important. I will share it when we do the sprint review when I get to it, but that's in 2 more weeks. So that being said, this specific task is taking much longer than I thought, mainly because I'm spending so much time on this. I spent so much time on the state diagram and sorting out the details of where that's going to live and how that's going to work out, that the storyboards are going to take even longer because now I have a clear idea of what that scope is, and it's a lot bigger than I originally thought. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. So that's what I got done. So what am I going to do next week? My big plan is to finish that dialogue state diagram documentation. So I'm going to finish that completely and draft an outline of all of the different pieces I want to do for the storyboards. That's what we're going to start with, at least. And last but not least, I want to find a host for this documentation for the GDD, these game design documents, like this stuff that I'm doing. I don't want to share this publicly. I don't want just to expose everything. But I want to make it accessible to people that are interested, that want to join sort of the insiders group on this. And it's not, Discord is the wrong place to share documents. I want to be able to version them, keep things fresh, and publish them accordingly. So yeah, so I'm sorting that out. I think I have a good idea of where it's going to live, but yeah, it's just taking a little bit more time. But I am going to find that and get that solved this week. Upcoming risks and impediments. That third question. I have a lot of home maintenance I got to get done this next week. There is a task that has been outstanding for 2 months for me, and putting it off any further is going to get me into the fall time. It's going to cause even more issues. So I am going to get this thing done this week, but that means less time for me to work on the game. So, real life being a homeowner, man, it's time consuming, takes some effort. So props to those who take care of their own house or have a staff that can do it for them. And also the documentation house. I said before, I don't want to throw money at this problem. I am running this thing lean. It's not that I'm cheap. I mean, I am cheap, but I'm going to throw money at something, it's going to be something that's really going to improve the development, going to improve the game's quality. A documentation host site for myself isn't going to improve the quality of the game. I don't see, that's the thing, that's an organizational thing, and that's something that I can fix on my own. So I'm going to throw some money at it, or I'm not going to throw any money at it. I'm going to fix this properly. I have tools that can do this. It's just figuring out the right one that does the things I want to do, if at all. And that's it. That's the stand-up. That was a pretty short thing, was it? Like, oh, only 5 minutes. It's perfect. So that's the example of what we're doing for the stand-up. So as usual, find me, like me on all the different things, right? Mixer, mixer.com, twitch.tv, YouTube, you're probably already there, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, these are all great places. You can also go to vagabondgame.com. That link just forwards you to the itch.io site. It will over time in the next few months change. So I highly recommend you check that out. And like I said, you know, I appreciate any support you have. Leave your comments below for anything you can think of. Leave me a comment on the social medias, and I'll see you next Monday with yet another stand-up and hopefully a little bit more progress. So until then, have yourselves a pleasant day and or evening. I'll see you soon.